Welcome. This is PvP for dummies. This is definitely not PvP for beginners. It is not PvP for the intermediate, and it is not PvP for advanced. This is PvP for dummies. This is for people who know nothing about PvP. You want to figure out why you keep losing, and you just want to turn it around enough to win a few of the rewards, get some Stardust, and you really want to score that cute outfit. And I'm not kidding about the outfit. You know who you are. There are people who just want that outfit. So this video will hopefully explain switching and charge move priority to some extent. And so I recorded 3 videos today that, ironically in the same order that they're shown in, pretty much explained how I lost, why I won, and how I could have won if I had just thrown in that neutral Pokemon or timed that switch better, So I'm just hoping that watching this will sort of explain to you how the order in which you choose your Pokemon is also important. Enjoy. We're going to look at 3 very different matches as an example of what to do, what not to do. In this scenario, Giratina is going to lose because dragons are weak to ice. What you start off with, the Pokemon you decide to start off with, has a lot to do with whether or not you're going to win a match. And I say that because normally people come in with 3 Pokemon and that team is a very rounded team. So it's rock, paper, scissors. That's basically what you're playing here in the Ultra League. So in this scenario, I know I'm going to lose, and I've decided that I'm not going to switch. And in a minute, we're going to talk about switching and why sometimes you might want to switch and sometimes you don't. And you have to make up your mind in a split second what your strategy is going to be. And most of the time, this all comes down to experience, and even some of the most experienced players won't be able to work their way out of the situation. So in this scenario, I've decided to stay in there and sacrifice my Giratina, sacrifice my shields, in the hope of just getting that first Pokemon worn down. I don't lose switch priority because Giratina just died. I've come in with a Muck because it's the only Pokemon in my lineup that is neutral to this attacker. Ice is also effective against grass, and in the back I have Venusaur. So bringing in Venusaur would have been a bad idea. But you see, we have shields down, 1 on each side. So I'm tanking a lot of those charge moves coming from the Clam. Finally, the Clam is dead. But she's got 1 shield and I have none. Swampert is Muck's counter. So I'm not going to win this matchup. So I'm going to switch out. And in the last desperate hope to turn this match around, I swapped in Venusaur, hoping to chip down at that health bar before she switches out. But she's smart and she switches immediately to Muck. And this is again a losing matchup because grass is weak to poison. I'm just going to chip away at it because I'm not a quitter. I'm going to fight till the end. And I'm going to go down swinging. Unlike some people, you go halfway through a match, they know they're going to lose, and they forfeit. And there it is. Venusaur holds on for a little bit, but it's not enough. It's not enough. It's a good boy, Venusaur. But not enough. That shield was saved for the last minute, just clutches the win for my opponent. Not enough. Close, but not enough. So, when you sense that the pattern that you've been using is not working anymore, it's time to change things up. I like the 3 Pokemon I'm using, but the order needs to change. Now, I made a mistake right here, and I brought in Charizard when mentally I really wanted to bring in Typhlosion. My bad. I don't know why I did that. When I saw the Charizard show up, I'm like, fuck, that's not what I picked. But Typhlosion and Charizard are both fire Pokemon. And that change-up was important because Registeel comes in, sees the Charizard, runs away, and he brings in Poliwrath. As soon as he brings in Poliwrath, I switch my Venusaur in because Venusaur is the only counter I have for Poliwrath. Now, the problem with Poliwrath is he has Ice Punch, and it charges really fucking fast. And Grass is weak to Ice, so that's why I blocked. Now, I know that Venusaur can tank 1, maybe 2 at best Ice Punch and live to tell the tale. So this is going to be a close matchup. It's not going to be a slaughter because Poliwrath has Ice Punch. As you can see, he's expelled his shields. He knows he has to. So I'm using up mine as well just so I can stay in the game because he's staying in the game. And switch priority is in my favor. So I need to maintain switch priority. Shields are down now. This is going to hurt. Can Poliwrath beat Venusaur? Almost. And I'm able to get that last Frenzy Plant off with a sliver of health left. The switch in. Giratina. Giratina kills Venusaur. But I have the choice to bring in what I want to bring in. That's switch priority. And I bring in the Muck. He brings in the Registeel. I bring in the Charizard. This is why switch priority and the Pokemon you start with is important. There's no way Registeel is going to beat Charizard. The fire is just resisting that steel. And he quits. Now to match number 3. This match is important because I'm about to demonstrate a scenario where switching could have turned the match around for me. This is a losing matchup for me because fire is weak to both water and ground. So I bring in the Venusaur and she brings in the Snorlax. And she brings in the Snorlax because she doesn't have a counter for Venusaur. So this is a wonderful opportunity for me to turn this match around because I know that Venusaur can hold his own against Snorlax. And maybe I can turn this a disadvantage, which is switch priority, into my favor. I would need to beat Snorlax. I have shield advantage, and we're going to expel one shield because she expels one shield. Venusaur is just barely holding on. Now pay attention, this is very important. Right here. I'm going to attempt to switch to Typhlosion after shields go down, but it fails. That's because I was over tapping, and we both armed our charge moves at the same time. She had charge move priority, so we both have to use our charge moves. Had I been able to switch to Typhlosion, Typhlosion would be up against Giratina right now and not Muck. And that's important because that would have turned the match around for me. I would have sacrificed Typhlosion instead of sacrificing Muck. And then Venusaur would have taken care of Swampert because her charge move was ready to go. She'd just come in and offload. And because that didn't happen, Muck is going to die. But before he dies, he's going to go down swinging because I'm not like that other guy who quits halfway through. Actually, in hindsight, now that I think about it, I probably should have swapped in Typhlosion instead of Muck when she brought in Giratina, because then Typhlosion would have been dead instead of Venusaur and Muck. I should have just swapped in the Typhlosion. Sometimes you don't realize it at the moment, but throwing in that neutral mashup, sacrificing that one Pokemon so that the counter that you want to counter Giratina stays alive at the end of the match, stays alive to finish it. I could have totally turned this match around, but I fucked it up. It comes down to experience, and I just didn't clutch it. Unlike the other guy, I'm not going to give up and give you the match. We're going to fight till the end. Just go down swinging. But that switch priority right there when Giratina came out and then the Muck came in to counter Giratina, she swapped out again because she has switch priority, and it didn't really turn the match around for me at all. Almost, but not quite.